Have you ever looked at someone and judged them by their appearance? I know I have, and if you say you haven't, then you're probably lying. But today, I feel like trying to strive for a new day we all can see and maybe provide a way to change this universal dilemma. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "I have a dream." Well, I, Tristan Ryan, also have a dream. And while I'm no Martin Luther King, I think the words I speak still hold some weight. I dream of a day where I can walk down the street, not be afraid, and actually feel safe. But as it stands now, we can't turn around without some act of violence matching the silence of a loved one's death. I know there's someone out there who just put their loved one to rest, never to hear from them again, at the hands of a man who didn't have a life and didn't know where to begin. For this, I blame our politicians and the systems revolving our education. At this point, I know you have questions, so allow me to explain. We praise our kids for getting an A in a subject they will never use, but punish them for starting their own side hustle inside the school, and if they're good enough at sports, they may even end up on the local news. But here's the problem. Fewer than 1% of high school athletes go pro. So when their grades are boosted for putting on a show, they are being taught that as long as they are good at sports, they will never sit on death row. Which brings me to my next point, our lovely politicians. They have created a system where law-abiding citizens pay for a prison, and don't get me wrong, we need a place to keep criminals off the street. But the problem that lies here is that when a person faces defeat or they need to eat, they can go rob a store, commit murder, and a bed and meal will be given to them for free. Not only do they receive this benefit, but they no longer have to worry about any kind of bills and usually have a free gym to stay fit. Meanwhile, we're paying for our membership, and I'm not just talking about the gym. I'm talking about just paying to live. And you might say, well, at least you're free. And to that I say, are we? I dream of a world that is kind, where people are nice and smiling wide all the time, because just think about this. All of us are blind. Tristan Ryan, what do you mean? I'm not blind. I have eyes, and yes, you can see. But let me ask you this. You see a girl pregnant and she's only 16, and what do you initially think? She's too young? She should have been more careful. How could she ever raise a child at that age? But did you ever stop to think that maybe that 16-year-old girl was raped? And she can't get an abortion because she lives in a society that offers her shame instead of supporting the child that was born of the violent rape. You see a man in the grocery store, and he's talking to himself, and what do you think? Why is that man being so strange? He's making me uncomfortable. Would he just go away? But did you ever stop to think about what that old man is going through? Maybe his wife just died and he doesn't know what to do because this is the first time he's been to the grocery store without her. Maybe he's still hurt and he's even still talking to her. So I have a dream that we have a day where we can stop and offer that old man help, wish him well, and inform him of all the sales, because we live in a society that is failing to help him. My point is that we don't know the people we shop around. So I have a dream that we can surround them with kindness and happiness, because life knocks us all down into the abyss, and sometimes we all just need help. But how can you expect help from anyone if all you do is judge everyone you see? You don't know them and you don't know their story. So just take a few minutes out of your day and ask them if they are okay. And if they aren't, maybe all you can do for them is pray. And maybe all they needed was just to feel like someone cares. Maybe that one simple question stopped them from going home and pulling the trigger. You would be surprised at how one simple question could save so many lives. If we could only live in a world that we didn't judge by appearance, maybe we could live in a world that is fearless and resilient. So I just have a dream that we can take a few minutes out of our day to change this world and make it a better place.